Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Skulk. Continuing our journey to Alarenthia. That's the one. Opening the map, down the map, I'm the very... Oh wait, hold on. I didn't do this in the last episode. Alright, hello. How you doing, Valessa?
Hey,
Hey, what do you think about Alarenthia so far?
I can't believe how hot it is, actually. I mean, Ulrich told us stories, and I thought he was exaggerating. As soon as we stepped off that ship, I knew he was actually right.
Yeah, I mean, if someone tells you how crappy a place is, it could be personal experience, could be personal preference, or it could be true.
Of course, he doesn't seem like the type to embellish his stories. Maybe some part of me was just hoping it wouldn't be that bad. He painted such a grim picture of this place, you know?
Hmm. Would you rather side with Vivian or Draco?
Vivian, hands down. I don't like the way Alarenthia is run. Relying on strength alone creates such a toxic atmosphere. Anyone with a brilliant mind would simply be pushed aside. That holds back the progression of society by so much. Valinor embraced new ideas and nurtured bright minds. If anything, it actually explains why Alarenthia is so primitive.
Well, we have to get there too. But, we'll have to see when we get there. Other than the stories that you told us, but the stories do seem to be adding up. What are your thoughts on how?
It's so weird, seeing our former elder just walking around. But I need to work on that. I need my mind to know it's not him. Salus is gone, and there's nothing we can do to change that fact. Hal is an interesting guy. He sure has a lot to say. His insight into the past of the world could fill 1,000,000 books. With all of those souls, he knows almost everything there is to know.
Yet he wanted to side with Draco.
He told me that society has actually regressed in Alarenthia. It used to be one with the monarchy. Their whole world was united. I hope we can make a world like that after this war is finally over.
True. And that's why I chose... Why am I blanking? That's why I chose 14, because I wanted the world to be open to each other. But that was corruption. But it wasn't the idea that was corrupt. It was 14 himself that is not fit for being a leader. I wonder if I can right a wrong in the future. Like, can I, in the end, go, by seeing a journey, it's my first decision. Flip-flop you. I think Velez would be a better leader. I wonder if I have that option in the future. Like, he goes, I'm going to be leader, and I hope I can go, I'm the king. And from the journey, I feel like Velez is definitely meant to be the king. I was thinking, I made my decision, and you don't seem to fit for it right now, but maybe you'll grow into it. You never showed any interest in being a leader. You wanted to be the leader, but just the title, I guess. You didn't make any decisions as a leader. I'm sorry, but you have to give it up. Anyways, anything you'd like to accomplish while we're here?
Yeah, I want to break the record for most water ever ingested. I'll never take something like that for granted ever again, I swear. It makes me miss the water tank from back in Valinor, actually.
Yeah, and everything is pretty convenient. Then you get so used to it, and think about that. When kids grow up, their atmosphere is the norm, and when the norm is taken away, they get surprised what they had. Like, wait, where's the easy water? I thought water always came from there. No, people made it easy for people. That's why things progress in this world, and we make the future a little more comfortable, more easy. Think about what we're doing. You're watching entertainment on a screen that you clicked a button on. In the past, they didn't have this. They had to go out and find something to entertain themselves. That's why you see, if you did look at the history of entertaining things, I saw someone rolling around a barrel, a metal barrel ring with a stick, and that was their fun. And the thing is, I could see that. You don't need great things or this. This is still entertaining. I'm not downing it. That's why I'm reading it. I'm not recording myself rolling a piece of metal down the road. People sometimes kick the can or ride bikes, get exercise, just anything to get entertainment. So think about it. We got things a lot easier. If you want entertainment, you go online, search for something, and you watch it. You experience it. You play it. Things have gotten a lot more convenient for us. And when we don't have electricity, a blackout or something, and that was your norm, you lost a lot. You have to figure things out. I grew up without these, without with the games like this. I grew up when I was like 4 or something. Yeah, walking to the past with good old Azure. I grew up when the Game Boy, the first Game Boy came out. And yes, I was entertained with it. But I had things I did outside. I had toys inside my house. I had friends around the corner that I can go see. We played other games, card games, board games. I loved those so much. But my family grew out of that, so I was left alone, the only board and card game player. But I can't play them because I don't have anyone to play with. Anyways, that's just me yammering on my pity party myself. The point is, I grew up without all this. My parents did, because this did not come out until later in my life. They didn't have it at all. Think about them. Think about your parents and what they had, they didn't have. Think about that. Convenience comes to us. Don't get too adjusted to it the whole time. Try to find alternate things that don't have it. Find many things. Expand. Anyways, continuing. That was a long ramble, but all good rambles. You should try rambling sometime. It's really entertaining.
Whenever we needed it, it was right there on demand. One oasis in the entire desert makes water pretty scarce. How do they handle the water situation in their capital?
Very good question. Do you think Ulrich will be okay now that he's back home?
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. It's just a lot to take in. He finally has a chance to change this place for the better. Apparently, that's all he wanted ever since he was young. I feel like this world will be completely different after we win. Such a scary thought. Well, scary and exciting. We're leading a revolution. I almost can't believe it.
Alright, let's continue onwards to... Forgot it already, even though it's just last... Well, for me, it was actually just like 15 minutes ago or less. Alarenthia, that's the name. Gosh dang, remember these names. We arrive at the gates of Alarenthia, after an exhausting trek through the desert. It feels like things will change now that we're here, but they probably won't. The city won't be any more inviting. There just might be more water. A lone man stands at the gates, and I recognize him. He's the man I saw watching us back at the docks. This can't be coincidence. He must be after us. Ulrich noses him and starts to walk towards the gate.
Let me handle this. I've been here before. He probably knows who we are. Info travels fast here. Just stay calm and I'll have us in the city in no time, alright?
Alright. We all nod, leaving Ulrich to handle the situation.
We seek passage into the city and nothing more. It's been a long trip from Azure and we need shelter. Our business lies with the ones known as Vivian and Draku.
The man remains silent for a few moments before bursting into laughter.
I know exactly who you are, Ulrich. Vivian is waiting for you in the tavern. And Draku? Well, you'll have a ball to attend.
Why are you laughing?
Wait. How do you know who I am?
I followed you all, up until the Oasis. That was my chance to get ahead and tip off Vivian. Besides, you stick out like a sore thumb. Nice markings, Sixer.
Now see here, he is getting respect. You better show him some respect, Mr. Draco. Are you him? Wait a minute, wait, hold on, wait. Are you him?
I trust that won't be an issue.
It shouldn't, but I'm surprised you found somebody to do that. Recreating the markings of the ancients is frowned upon. They earned those markings. You certainly did not.
Of course.
Though you do bear a striking resemblance to the Ulrich of legend. If anything, that'll make your relationship with Vivian more amicable.
Oh, he thinks he's a fake.
I was given this name by my parents. They align with his views, and so do I. If that'll be all, we'd like to keep going.
Of course. I wasn't standing here to stop you. I merely wished to welcome you back home. I hope you and your monarch end up useful.
He bows to Ulrich as a sign of respect.
By the way, call me Drakior.
Ulrich nods before he heads back to face us. Drakior enters the city, likely returning to Vivian's side. Oh, he's a Vivian follower. Nice. I'm glad that our request to this land finally has some direction.
Well, that was easy. Because of the ball, there's almost no security. I knew he'd be involved with Vivian. I could just tell.
How? I don't know.
So we'll have enough time to meet with her before the ball. That's great. I was worried we'd be on a tight schedule. You can't really rush decisions that change a nation.
Nope. That would ruin the entire situation.
Yeah, it was definitely fortuitous. We better make sure it's not a trap. That's the perfect way to catch us off guard.
Well, he didn't seem disingenuous.
That's the perfect way to catch us off guard.
Right. So what's the next step?
We head into the town square. If the tavern hasn't moved, it's connected. We'll be seeing Vivian within the hour, for sure.
Alright, sounds good to me. Is there more water in the city?
Yeah, but don't ask for water in the tavern. It's seen as a sign of weakness amongst Alarenthians. If you drink anything while we're there, make sure it's ale.
Crap. I'll stay outside and drink, and then I'll come back in. Everybody stands around, seeming to wait for my mark. Set, go! There's something up with Ulrich. I have a strong gut feeling. His secret talk with Pro, and some of the things Drakior said. Oh, wow! Oh, it's all of them. Vivian and the mistake I made. The corruption, I should say. Let's click on clickables. Okay, it doesn't look. There's no clickables. Okay, it's these. Hi, man. How you doing, Hal? Is Alarenthi the same as it was back then?
No, it is completely different. More primitive. Alarenthia existed in unison with the monarchy. It was one part of a larger whole. It was peaceful.
Aww.
Being stuck in a constant power struggle sounds awful, but still, it has given us what we need. A strong potential ally. Draco is the result of generations of a savage cycle of growth. Every ruler is stronger than the last. For almost an eternity, they have followed these laws. Draco and his army must be exceptional in their power.
You're not swaying me. I don't want strength. I mean, it would help, no doubt, but still, this sucks. I don't want to have a bad leader. How are you handling Incelus's body?
We have no complaints. It seems to be others who have problems. especially those close to Salus, like his son. But we will work on that while we travel. Perhaps your forces just need time to adjust. This must be a jarring transition, to say the least.
Yeah. Seeing someone you cared about die and then come back to life, but not with their spirit, feels disrespectful and a shocker, because I'm like, but you're my dad. At least you're my dad's body, but you're not my dad. So it's definitely shocking. Did you really make it through the desert with no water?
We require no sustenance. We may eat and drink with his body, but it is not necessary. If anything, we would do it for pleasure, rather than to survive.
So it'd be waste. Fair enough.
But pleasure is not something we require either. So, because of that, we choose not to eat or drink. There are those who need it more than us, Monarch.
Fair enough. It was just a question, you know. Do you think we'll win this war and defeat the Triumvirate?
We are unable to comment on this matter. Conjecture of that kind will lead nowhere constructive. We must simply increase our chances of winning and try.
That's the way to think about it. There's no way to be certain, but it's good to have confidence. Alright, let's see what necromancy I have brought upon our people. I'm so sorry. I hope that you'll be put to rest afterwards.
So, what's it like? You know, being a vessel?
It is not much different than when we were alive. There are simply voices in our head. Lots of them. The monarchy guides our every move.
They are fueled by the rage of their imprisonment. Everything inside of us tells us to fight and to kill. When the time comes, we will fight for this world.
That's the reason why it's corruption. Because they're the monarch and they want what Howl wants, and Howl wants power and fights, and he wants peace for the world, but he wants to do it through brute force.
The wounds on our bodies hurt us at first, but like white noise, we have phased it out. It only flares up every few minutes now.
I feel so horrible. Having potatoes. Both seem bad, but this is now nagging at me constantly. Every time you make a bad decision, like whenever I'm playing a game and I use cheats just once or twice just because the game just slapped me in the face, I have to take it because the game isn't unfair. I just don't like it. And then when I cheat, I go, now the world feels tainted. I didn't earn all this. I gained these things unfairly, so... if I were to do that, I'd be changing them out, going, no, the world is tainted, I chose wrong. But this is my journey, and I have to take it for what I chose.
And how bad is it?
We feel every wound as if freshly inflicted. It is almost like we exist on the edge of life and death. Our body is unable to fully commit to either side of the spectrum.
Why did I do this?
That sounds horrible.
Horrible? Yes, but also necessary. With our aid, the Triumvirate shall fall. Justice will finally be given to the monarchy.
When we can deliver that justice, the pain is worth it. We embrace this as a gift, and will honor the monarch. Without their choice, we would not be alive to fight.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Just wish there was a way to make the pain go away. You know, after this war, you're still going to suffer.
We are not the only ones who will continue to suffer. The wounds endured during this war can also be emotional. Scars will haunt all of your forces. We are not the only ones.
This is so bad. I just don't like this. And I did it and I saved over and I can't go back. But then that would go against my word of wanting to just... You know, I wanted to go with what I chose, but I hate what I chose. It sucks.
Right.
Both were really bad. But this is they cannot die. And they will live with this forever. I think. I hope there's a way to undo it. But then having potatoes, they'd not feel constant pain. But it's as if they didn't do anything. Not if they didn't do anything. They don't know that they did anything, and they don't know who it is. So whoever I gave it to, I'm pretty sure they give it to friends, and that would suck because then they won't know who I am. Anyone that cared, anyone that they cared about, they would know nothing until their time passing, but only until then. Pretty much, they would die when that thing set in. Their body still sits, their spirit still sits, but they're dead until they actually die. Then they live again. You get why I was confused of which to choose? Yeah, let's travel. Town square. As soon as we enter the town square, Ulrich motions for all of us to stay close. People run amok while others try to peddle their wares, waving us over. It almost seems just like Museo, but the products must be different.
Good. Tavern is in the same place. It's just over there, so we'll make it on time.
He crosses his arms and looks around the town square. Then he rubs his arm in a way that almost hides his tattoo. But it's too late. I can already see the townspeople staring. Ulrich was definitely hiding something from all of us. I just say he's losing our trust, but he's definitely suspicious. Nothing he's told me adds up with what the Alrenthians have said. Almost out of fear, it seems that the townspeople avoid us. Eye contact is as far as we can go. Excuse me, I'm having burps. Leaving us lots of room to maneuver. I guess that helps. It'd suck if they all invaded our personal bubble.
Let's not waste too much time out here, alright? I think we only have a few hours until the ball begins. I'll stay here, but feel free to look around for a bit.
Okay. Honestly, I expected Alrenthia to be different. But it looks like I'm staring at an alternative version of Museo. The only thing that stands out is the architecture and the heat. That heat... It didn't change one bit when we got to the city. However, the natives seemed used to it, walking around with ease. Most of them aren't fully clothed, wearing a get-up much like Ulrich's. I guess it's my fault for expecting something different out of this place. Before we head to the tavern, I decided to look around for a few minutes. Maybe it would be a good idea to talk to Ulrich as well, as he's acting strange. There's 2 books here. 2 books. I haven't seen books in a long time. Books are somewhere. Tons of vases and jars full of whatever product people are peddling. 410 inspects them with a curiosity that I almost can't describe. However, Ulrich is pretty quick to put it to the curiosity end.
Hey, cut that out. You have no idea what's in there. It could be drugs or illegal weapons.
There are illegal weapons?
Oh, of course, you have to improvise around here. Your goal is to always be stronger than everyone else. That requires some creativity, especially in weapon design. The Great Sword even originated in Alarinthia. You don't see many people carrying them on the mainland. I was raised with it, though, so I can't use anything else.
Whoa, that's pretty cool. I wonder what I can find then.
And what part of illegal don't you understand? There are laws in place to prevent more inhumane creations. but those laws fail to reach places like the town square markets. You could touch something laced with poison or worse. Just keep your hands off of this stuff and stay close to me. Always assume that everything here is out to get you.
Wow, you make this place sound so luxurious. But alright, I'll do what you say. For now.
I look through the market stalls. There's a few books on display. There's one about Sixers, so I figure I'd give it a read. That term has been thrown around recently, and I wanted to learn more.
On Sixers. Sixers, the nickname for victims of a vicious form of punishment that has since been forbidden. 6 hours is all a person can last before passing out in the harsh deserts of Alarinthia. Then, 6 days later, without sustenance, they pass away. Back in ancient times, this was used as a way to punish criminals and make them prove their self-worth before returning to society. If they could survive for an entire 6 days without food and water, they would be welcomed back into Alarinthia's arms. Of course, the survival rate was low. Many people thought this was a skewed form of punishment, clearly rigged to kill. It was so long ago, but they were likely right. Disposing of criminals before making them serve sentences or deliver a more conventional means of justice was barbaric. At least that's what the activists said. It wasn't very long until their movement gained traction, and this practice was banned. Instead, they gave criminals the chance to fight for their freedom in the Colosseum of Alarinthia. If they won, their sentence would be negated. This was seen as more fair and less rigged against them. This form of resolving conflict and fighting for rights over the ages would soon evolve into something more. Passing laws, deciding leaders, and determining fates of citizens would also go on to be placed in the hands of victors. Now, the nation rests in the hands of the strong.
The books? A book hidden somewhere. On top of the crates rests a book. Found it! About Draco's reign. Perhaps some young Alrenthias were reading upon him before the ball. It definitely paints a grim picture of the nation. Draco must be very strong.
Draco's reign. In Alarinthia, a ruler is lucky if their reign lasts even a year. However, Draco has been in power for several decades. This is definitely unheard of. His power is immense, and any challengers to the throne are quickly defeated in the Colosseum without effort. Every year, Draco hosts a ball in his castle and freely spreads his riches amongst the citizens of Alarinthia. That, coupled with his strength, keeps most of his subjects happy. Many are less inclined to insurrection, and those that attempt to dethrone him are easily defeated. He seems to have a stranglehold on the nation, but it is also one that gives the land a continued sense of peace. However, due to the way that the nation is run, it is only a matter of time until he is dethroned in the Colosseum. He will join the rest of Alarinthia's past rulers, none of which have succumbed to natural causes. Only the strength of others.
I want to say something before this one ends, because we still have Ulrich to talk to. But does that really mean that he's a bad guy? I'm curious. I have to see his personality before I make my final decision. I have to see both of their personalities. But he may be in position of a strength in that area. But if he is trying to maintain a good figure and not lose the throne for a good reason, so no bad people can sit in the seat, then that's good. If he's being a bad person in the seat and trying to maintain it, then of course that's bad. But if he's seeming to be a good person, keeping the peace and making sure no one else gets in the throne to use it badly, then I say it's a pretty good cause. Because if someone is a good leader and can maintain that leadership, then so be. But as I said, I don't know who he or Vivian are in personality-wise yet. But we'll see. People run around the town square, clearly on a mission. It's more chaotic than Mizeo, and that's definitely saying something. Valessa stands there, watching everybody intently. She seems very interested.
Is this place always so busy?
Yeah, it can even get worse. The busy hours are closer to nighttime. But not tonight, with the ball and all.
Do people live in their market stalls? Like Museo?
No, not really. They get enough business to have their own homes. It's actually the opposite here. Running a stall is a sign of wealth.
So the more you work, the more money you make. See, that actually makes sense. Don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't make up for the other shortcomings. The markets are busy and unsafe. People die all the time. It's a cutthroat culture here, so you're always in danger.
Well, that sucks.
If I could choose a place to open up a shop, I'd choose Museo. It might be harder and less profitable, but it'd be safe. You wouldn't get caught up in other people's fights.
That happens here?
All the time. It's almost unavoidable. You can't turn around without bumping into anybody here. It gets worse the deeper you go, but we won't go that deep.
Nice. I don't want to go there.
Of course, the flowing of alcohol doesn't make things easier. People are always rowdy, looking for some fun or fight. You also wouldn't be able to get some peace and quiet.
Right, alright, you win. Why do so many people do it then? I mean, set up shop and put up with that.
Probably because they don't know anything else. Getting to the mainland is the last thing on their minds. Wherever you grow up, that's what's normal to you.
That's what I've been saying. You're normal. It's your norm. If you expand and see more of the world, you'll see more things to choose from of what you want. What you might want to actually have.
I guess that makes sense. Valinor is normal to me, and Museo is weird. But I bet it'd be the other way around for Dominic.
Exactly.
Alright. I believe that's the last of the clickies. I'm not clicking on that because I feel like it does the same thing. Okay.
Hey.
How you doing? Do you think Drakior is leading us into a trap?
I have no idea, but it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure that we can handle whatever they throw at us. But if he truly does work for Vivian, then we have some good luck.
Nice.
We could use some of that, couldn't we? So for now I'm going to believe Drakior, but only for now. If anything seems suspicious at the tavern, I'll tip you off.
Okay.
Although, the prospect of a tavern brawl does sound appealing. You haven't seen true fighting until you've seen it in Alarinthia. Just thinking about it gets my blood boiling. It's been too long.
Oh.
Of course, I'll try my best to keep our visit a peaceful one. I don't want to end up fighting for our freedom in the Colosseum. Their methods of punishing prisoners are still pretty harsh.
Yeah. I don't want that. What did he mean by the Ulrich of legend?
I hate to talk about this, so I'll try making it quick. Vivian obviously isn't the first person to rebel against Alarinthia's laws. The first one, at least in recorded history, was named Ulrich, like me. Many people followed after his ideals, including my parents. So much so that they decided to name me after him. I don't like it. That's all it is, really. My name is a silly little tribute.
Oh.
I guess it doesn't help that I also actually look like him. Or at least all artistic and textual descriptions of him. A pretty cool coincidence, but that's all it is. I knew this stuff would come up as soon as we got here. Just remember, you've known me long before this trip. Don't come to judge me by the things these people say.
How did you actually get those tattoos?
I'd rather not talk about that right now. But I have a feeling you'll find out soon enough. It's complicated and we're really short on time.
Alright.
Just trust me, alright? It's nothing bad. I earned these, they weren't ripped off. Let's grab a drink in the tavern and chat.
Okay. What have you and Pro been talking about?
That's none of your business, not yet. Again, just trust me, okay? Please. There's lots going on that you don't know. That's not to say that you'll never know it. Just sit back and wait until the time is right. I promise that everything will make sense soon.
Alright. One last thing. Anything notable in the town square?
Other than the tavern, not really. There's just the market stalls like Museo. However, there's no laws in place for this stuff. You can buy whatever you want in Alarinthia. Pirates make a living bringing illicit goods overseas. So whatever your heart desires, you can probably find. But I don't think you're the type of person to want that stuff. So if it's all the same to you, we should probably get to the tavern. Remember, we're on a bit of a schedule. Our time is valuable.
Yeah, but the developers of this game and you, the voice actor, put time into this, so I want to hear it out. I did miss out on probably one or two things, maybe a few, but I want to make sure we collect as much as possible. So, with that being said, with this one being a 36-minute video, plus more with an outro, thank you guys for stopping by. We'll enter the tavern in the next one. At least I believe so. Thank you guys for stopping by. And until I see you guys again, have a great day, everyone.